Here with me now is Gracie Skogman, the Legislative Director for Wisconsin Right to Life. Gracie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Sarah. Good to see you.
So as of now in Wisconsin, pending appeal, consensual abortion is legal in counties where it's offered. How does your organization now work to prevent abortions in Wisconsin while this judge's ruling stands?
Our first defense ultimately is pregnancy resource centers. They continue to see an increase in clients. I called some of our busiest centers yesterday, and they were booked for the whole week and the whole month of December. So that's where we're putting our focus, ensuring that women have the support that they need if they do want to choose life for their children.
So what do pregnancy resource centers need from communities and the state to better support women?
Absolutely. Well, first off, we are actually calling for state funding to go to these centers. And our argument is that they're providing free healthcare and support. In some cases, they're offering housing, diapers, material goods. So we're asking for state funding for these centers, but ultimately they are all donation funded. They have community support, so we would encourage community members to get involved with their local center.
Gracie, how do you persuade women in Wisconsin to accept other options like pregnancy resource centers? I know that your organization also gives out grants. So what do you do?
Ultimately, if we look at the data, the reason why many women choose abortion is reasons such as healthcare or housing insecurity. So we have many, many women in this state who want to carry their pregnancy to term, but there is a lack of resources. And that's where the pregnancy resource centers come in. That's where bipartisan legislation should come in as well to ensure that women have the support that they need.
This year across the country, in many states, even deep red ones, when voters were faced with that abortion question, they've upheld abortion rights. And then in the most recent Marquette Law School poll in November, 57% of registered voters in Wisconsin opposed the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. In a poll of national voters through the Marquette Law School, the number was higher. So how do you meet voters where they are?
Ultimately, we have to come back to our core mission at Wisconsin Right to Life. And we are an organization that is set to educate. So that means more time engaging with voters, more time engaging on college campuses, high schools, and that's exactly what we're doing. We just launched a new canvassing program last week at Wisconsin Right to Life. And our goal is just to open this conversation. We understand that many people may only favor a heartbeat ban. Maybe they fall at 16 weeks, 12 weeks. Our goal is to bring them into the pro-life movement. We may not all agree on full protection for life, but we can find common ground, and that is still a victory for our movement.
Gracie, do you think that a full ban on abortion may be something that leads to more unsafe abortions? Does your organization support maybe moving toward reducing them as opposed to fully banning them?
Our mission has always been to take victories, even if they are small victories. So ultimately, right now, our focus is on 940-04. We are hopeful that with the appeal process, there could be a different decision. And it is our understanding that that law should be in effect today in our state, and we stand by that. However, we may have to reopen the conversation if it does not go our way with 940-04. And that's where we will chip away, even if it is one small victory at a time.
Let's talk about common ground and bipartisan work in the state legislature this year. The governor just signed the baby box bill into law. There's also another bill working its way through the legislature right now that would extend postpartum Medicaid coverage to 1 year for new moms. Now, we have had one of the co-authors of the bill here on our show kind of talking about what it does for these new moms, these low-income new moms. But while it has passed out of the Senate, it may face some hurdles getting through the assembly. How do advocates work to get that across the finish line?
It is so important for us to remember that if we say we are pro-life advocates, that means being pro-support to women in our state. And these bills are an example of that. Of course, we celebrate the fact that the safe haven baby boxes have become law as of yesterday, but it is very important to us to continue to advocate for this expansion of coverage for postpartum mothers. It's our argument that you cannot be fully pro-life if you don't find room in your heart for those types of legislative measures. So we will continue that conversation in the state capitol.
Gracie Skogman with Wisconsin Right to Life, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Sarah.